What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. This is Leonard Miles. 2 degrees in the CDL. Like I said, I gotta come up with a nickname, but for right now, 2 degrees in the CDL. That's gonna be it. Hopefully, everybody's doing well. Hopefully, everybody's having a productive Monday, 9/11 Monday. And I remember I was in 10th grade, Hardaway High School, 2001. I was in U.S. history when I heard all this happen. You know, the Twin Towers crashing in New York. So yeah, I was definitely in school that day, and it changed history forever. So definitely continue to praying for those families of the victims that were lost. Pray for our men and women who went to war and fought during the war that was initiated by the events that happened on 9/11. So definitely praying for all the fallen families, all the fallen soldiers. So yeah, much blessings and to each and every one of you. On Friday, I had a video that I posted, and I was more so talking about, what was it about? I forgot already. Oh yeah, I was talking about CDL school. In that process right there. Everything that I had to go through in order to really find my footing at the school, which I eventually went to, which was South Georgia Technical College. But in the middle of the video, in the beginning of the video, I know I was talking about being down for 2 weeks. I didn't really elaborate on how it felt being down for 2 weeks. So let me go back to the beginning on how I ended up being down for 2 weeks. So yeah, we're gonna call this video 2 weeks notice. I was given a 2 weeks notice, basically by my own damn truck, but it's all good. It's fixed now. But how do we get to that point? So what ended up happening, 2 Mondays ago, I was getting ready to pull out and head to Iowa. So I was getting ready to head to Iowa, and I noticed that I had lights flickering on my dashboard, SCR not operating. Long story short, it has something to do with the DEF system. And for those who don't know what DEF is, it's diesel exhaust fluid. So for newer model trucks, they have to add regular diesel, and you also have to add diesel exhaust fluid. So yeah, it's more money to spend. So the DEF system was acting up. The regen system, which basically keeps the truck driving, it really wasn't functioning properly. So as each code was popping up, I would send it over to my supervisor just to see what he had to say. And at the time, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna keep driving. I mean, it wasn't giving me no issues at that point. But then he called me, and he wanted to know how far I had gotten. Like I said, I was just pulling out of Columbus, Georgia. I made it all the way up to around the Atlanta airport area. And he told me to go ahead and turn around. He said, man, you're not going to make it an hour. Go ahead and turn around right now. I said, all right, cool. So I turned around, and, he gave me instructions as far as, heading over to the diesel mechanic shop that we use in Columbus. I'm not going to mention their names. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to mention their names at all, for the simple fact that I will not be taking my truck back there anymore. But for the purpose of this video, we have to talk about it. we were supposed to have a contract with Ryder Trucks, just in case something like this happens. So I'll be able to, get my truck fixed either immediately, or they'll put me in one of their trucks for the time being until our truck is fixed. That process hasn't been started yet, so that's something that we'll be working on as far as upper management. So hopefully it's in soon as well, but I'll be speaking on more so on that as well. So I get the truck back down to Columbus, and I take it to the shop that we normally use, and they said they'll look over everything, and I'm like, all right, cool. So, and they said they'll give me a call. So I dropped the truck off and everything, and Tuesday afternoon is when they called me and they told me everything that was wrong with it. I drove out to the shop, right before I went to the gym and stuff. So they showed me everything that would be needed on it. New tires, well, 2 tires on the passenger side of the tractor. Brake line hose was ripped. The pinion seal from the drive shaft that needed to be replaced, and of course, the DEF system. They said they could have all of it, finished in a few days. I was like, all right, cool. Let's get it done. So for those few days, I'm just sitting and waiting. And like I stated in the previous video, I was able to go ahead and get my my TWIC card fingerprints done. And for those of you who don't know what a TWIC card is, a transportation worker identity card. So it allows you to get into secure places, either like through the ports, on certain government installations. Also, another benefit of it is you can do a pre-check through TSA, so you don't even have to pay for that. It's free. I didn't know that you can do that with your hazmat endorsement as well. So yeah, that's also a plus. But yeah, that TWIC card would definitely open up doors, when that time comes. My patience wasn't tested. Because I know when it comes to trucking to expect the unexpected, and even the old vets will let you know that as well. Expect the unexpected. The truck is going to break down. It's not a matter of if. It's all about when. And my when just happened to come 2 weeks ago. I think the biggest thing for me, is just not having a solid contingency plan, like at this moment. When breakdowns happen. The company that I work for, we're not a mega carrier, so I can't just get into one truck, and I can't get out of one truck and get into another truck. I wish it was that way, but it's not. But presently constructed, it's not like that at all. I had to literally wait until my truck got fixed. So I think that's the thing for me. It's like, man, I just wish it was better systems in place for when this happens. It's like, all right, the ball is not dropped, because like I said, I got paid, breakdown pay and my salary and stuff like that, but I didn't want to be at home. I wanted to be out, working and producing, and not being idle. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff done, during that first week, but it's like, all right, I'm ready to get out there. I'm ready to get rolling, But of course, like I said, all I can do is all I can do. So, I made sure that my truck was in the shop, and everything was taken care of. Now it was that Friday, not last Friday, but the previous Friday, the Friday before. I got a call from the diesel mechanic shop, and they told me my truck was ready. I said, all right, cool, it's good to go. Good. So then they tell me, oh yeah, one of these codes on this truck, we don't have the system to clear it out. It's some Davies system code, and we don't have it. You have to take it up to the dealership. So instantly I'm thinking to myself, y'all knew y'all couldn't, y'all knew y'all didn't have what it took to clear that code out. So I kind of felt deceived. I kind of felt like they deceived us. They deceived us out over $3,200, the company. Like I said, you know, I really felt deceived, and it's like, had I known that y'all not had all the proper equipment to clear the code out, to effectively do everything, then I would have just took it to the dealership. Oh yeah, it's fine to drive, and yeah, you'll be able to drive and you won't have no issues. I'm like, all right, cool, thank you. Gassed my truck up. I'm like, all right. Took it back to the shop, hooked everything up. I'm like, all right, I'll be ready to leave out on Tuesday. Tuesday hits, and Tuesday was just one of those days. Like, Tuesday was just one of those days. I'm like, man, like, I can't believe this is happening. So I'm pulling out of Columbus, and I get to the weigh station right outside of LaGrange, Georgia. Every truck had to pull in. Hazmat loads, which is, I had hazmat on my truck, had to pull over to the other side. They checked my axles, make sure that my weight is evenly distributed on each axle. They told me I was good to go. Well, I had to get inspected, and it wasn't by the Georgia Department of Transportation. It was by the United States Department of Transportation. And he did a full pre-trip on my truck. I mean, he pulled me over. I had the paperwork, and, you know, all my paperwork was legit. You know, had my license and everything. You know, everything was fine. The only thing that wasn't fine was I had to get my brakes adjusted. I've never done brake adjustments before. So of course, you know, I called Love's roadside service. Said it would take them 4 hours to come out. Need to remind you that hazmat inspection took almost about 2 hours for him to do himself. I got shut down, and a few other trucks got shut down. So it was probably around right around 11:45 a.m. on this past Tuesday. And when I got that text message saying, you know, it's going to be a 4-hour wait before Love's come out, I already knew at that point, it's like, all right, I'm just going to head on back to Columbus, and I'm just going to redo everything tomorrow. So the guy from Love's, he gets out there a little bit after 4 hours. So he got out there, though. And he ended up adjusting my brakes. I'm up there talking to other truck drivers as well, just shooting the breeze, because at that point I had nothing but time on my hands. So it was a big waiting game. So he comes out there, he adjusts my brakes, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm done." I'm like, "What you mean you done?" And then he showed me exactly what needed to be done on the back of the trailer. And I said, "Man, that's all you had to do?" Like, "Yeah, man, just get your ratchet set and the and everything, like I said, and the 916 millimeter socket." And I had all that. I'm like, man, I had all this. And I'm like, dang, man. Like, I told myself, I said, man, I gotta get into some diesel mechanic school, man, because, man, I want to work on my own stuff so I can just keep it moving. I don't want to be stagnant. So, you know, when you got time on your hands, you be running through a lot of thoughts in your head. It's like, all right, I need to do this, I need to do that. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm getting ready to pull off. And then I see on my dashboard, it says shut the engine off. I'm like, what's going on? Why I gotta shut the engine off? So I try to start driving, and it's the doggone DEF tank. The regen system is all, off whack because that code hasn't been cleared. So my DEF light was flickering red off and on. He told me it was good to drive with it. I figured it was gonna come back and bite me. I knew it would. So I couldn't even go past 5 miles per hour. I had to back it on up, call my transportation manager, gave me the number to Michelin to get my truck towed. So they came on out. That was another hour and a half wait. So they get ready to tow it and everything. The guy comes out and tow it. I go ahead and call Peterbilt at that moment. Transportation manager and myself was like, yeah, we're going to just be dealing with the dealership moving forward. So called Peterbilt, told them that the truck would be heading up their way. And I just told them everything that was wrong with it. And he said, all right, we'll be looking forward to it. That Peterbilt is in Jackson, Georgia. So if anybody that's in Georgia, be close around the Atlanta area, that Jackson, Georgia Peterbilt, they are open 24/7. I think they're the only one in the state of Georgia out of all the Peterbilt diesel mechanic shops that are open 24/7. So if you happen to have a breakdown or anything like that, hey, the Jackson, Georgia location for Peterbilt, they're open 24/7. So the warehouse manager from down in Columbus for my company, Best Veterinary Solutions, he comes down and he picks me up and brings me back to Columbus. So like I said, I'm just in town for the night. I kind of figured again that, all right, I'm gonna be down for the rest of the week. I already knew that. Like I said, I still got a lot of stuff accomplished, but it's like, yeah, I still want to be out there on the road. So I called Peterbilt the next day, which was on a Wednesday. So I called Peterbilt the next day on that Wednesday, and just trying to find out from them, all right, what all needs to be done. So they gave me a rundown as far as the DEF system, the codes and stuff had to be cleared out. My torque arm bushings there had to get repaired and everything. So I'm like, all right, cool. But the guy wasn't coming in until Thursday to really be able to look at the electrical stuff as far as the DEF system to make sure that everything was straight. I said, all right, that's fine. So I get an email from them on Thursday. They're saying the truck was done and how much it'll be. So, I shot all the information up to my transportation manager. He takes care of the payment. So then I just go get it. I got it actually on Friday. So Friday I get up there and they had the truck ready. And I ended up driving it back to Columbus, and it drove smooth. Hooked it up to the trailer, and it drove smooth. One thing I got to get done on this trailer as well that I didn't tell you all about when I got shut down on Tuesday is I will be needing to get some brakes on it as well. The brakes aren't severely worn, but as much driving as I do, between me being up here in Indiana and me going back home, I'll be getting those brakes done just so I know, moving forward, like, all right, my truck and trailer is good to go. So therefore, if anybody tries to pull me over, and try to do brake tests, I'll be good to go. But it felt great. It felt great getting my truck back on Friday, being able to drive back. So overall, like I said, the way I felt like during those 2 weeks, I just had the patience. Like I said, I think the irritation just came in because I just wish we had better contingency plans when, breakdowns happen. Like I said, so being able to get into another truck after your truck breaks down. So I think just having those contingency plans would be a lot better for the flow of business. Of course, I want to make money, but like I said, I enjoy what I do. I love the organization that I work for, and like I said, I truly love driving. Like, I really, really do enjoy driving. So I'm in Indiana right now. So I'm here overnight. I'm going to get me a workout in. I'm gonna eat first because, like I said, I've been driving since 6 a.m. this morning. So I'm about to grab me a bite to eat, and I'm gonna work out, and that's gonna be it for me for the rest of the night. Yeah, I appreciate you all taking out this time and just reviewing this video. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Just let me know, if you're a trucker, have you ever been down 2 weeks before, either as a company driver or an owner operator? I appreciate y'all for the support. Have a good one.